The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to TechGeek webinar series, our endeavor to empower techies. We believe that sharing of knowledge is key to enhance our skills and grow us as a professionals. With this principle in mind, we have initiated a series of webinars conducted by industry experts to give you all a crisp insight of various domains. The topic of today's session is Advanced SOC for APTs and other custom threads. Our guest speaker for today's webinar is Mr. Sudeep Das. He is lead solution architect for India and SAARC region at RSA Security. Sudeep is having over 14 years of IT experience in the field of information security and application development. He is currently working as manager for technology consultants with RSA India, which is one of the leading information security solution design and security evangelism for enterprise customer and government verticals. Sudeep holds a bachelor degree in computer science from Birla Institute of Technology University, Mesra, and holds professional certificates including CISSP 2003 and CISA certification 2004. So without any further delay, I introduce all you to our guest speaker. Over to you, Sudeep.
Thank you, Gaurav, for the introduction. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would, I just sharing my screen. Just give me a moment. Should have right. So
yeah, we are able
to about.
We are able to see your screen, Sudeep. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Gaurav. Right, so today I'll be taking around 45 minutes of your time to talk through the Advanced Security Operations Center strategy that we have, and how this Security Operations Center that I'm going to talk about is going to address the more newer threats that we see in our world, namely that advanced persistent threat that we have, we formally talk about, and as well as other custom threats which may be APT or may not be an APT, zero-day attacks and etc., which we know or we may not know about. So I'm going to talk about how these threats are really changing the landscape of how we deal with our security landscape within the organization, and what we need to do to be ready to counter these attacks that we normally are seeing or may not be seeing, and completely unaware of those attacks that might already be going through into our organization. So the agenda really would be how these incident detection capabilities have to be evolved to cater to the newer requirements, and how we can use the platform Security Operations Center to address the requirements of incident detection, and at RSA are we really doing to fulfill that particular requirement. So three topics. I'll spend around 15 minutes each on each one of them, and at the end of the presentation we should open up for question answers. You could go ahead and type down your questions as we speak, and we'll address all of them at the end of the session. Right. So so we start off with what really was incident detection really for all these years. When intrusion detection systems were first introduced quite some time back, they were the primary placeholder for our intrusion detection capabilities within the organization. The intrusion detection systems were looking into certain patterns. I'll just wait for the screen to refresh. Still, I guess we are on slide 2. So as the screen refreshes onto the, so I'll just talk you through what I was. So intrusion detection systems is what was the primary pillar for our detection capabilities. And those intrusion detection systems were doing a whole bunch of patterns, and they started throwing off a whole lot of attacks. And we started very quickly realizing that these intrusion, there was a whole bunch of false positives that we were dealing with. So around 95% of the warnings that the intrusion detection system was really throwing up was not really useful. And once the IDS alert was